Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the JAG Thursday Championship here, and it's taking place at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. Should be a fantastic race coming up for you. Hotspot on the call once again here. Happy to be back in the JAG Thursday division. As I said, Red Bull Ring, Spielberg, Austria, formerly the Österreich Ring. Very fun track, very quick, challenging as well. Should be a great race, this. Let's have a look at the drivers and constructor standings while we've got a minute. After last time out in Belgium, that Lil Jim does lead the way. Lord Alum second, Jag Greg third, Justerini fourth, Ali fifth, Mikey sixth, Adonis seventh, Parker eighth, Lewis ninth, and Marcus 10th. And as far as the constructor standings are concerned, if the thing will load, give me just a second. There we go. After the first round in Belgium, oh, there we go. Williams is atop of the table. Sauber second, McLaren third, Haas fourth, Red Bull in fifth, the V-Carbs sixth, Mercedes seventh, Alpine eighth, Ferrari ninth, and that of the Aston Martins in 10th. Here we are then, a full grid. Love to see it, you really do. At a track that, definitely prides itself on some fantastic racing, lots of overtaking as well. Does appear that Shabs is going to be our first driver out on track in his McLaren. The Sauber behind him, I believe, is that Justerini coming out. It's either him or Ali. It's going to be Ali out after that. This track has held some fantastic races in the past couple of seasons. The track that's actually on schedule in real life this weekend. Definitely going to provide a great one, I'm sure. Always the threat of weather as well, so that could be fun. One of those tracks that, DRS kind of the big selling point behind it, but there's plenty of places to make mistakes, and there's plenty of opportunity to get moves done even without the aid of DRS, really. A lot of this track is just purely late braking. That is kind of a lot of it. If you're going to make something happen here, you're going to have to be gutsy on the brakes. Down the pit straight into the first corner, out of the first corner, down to the second corner, up the hill, exiting the second corner, down the hill to the third. Very fun track, very quick, and it looks as if our first driver with an attempt today will be that of Shabs in his McLaren. And he's going to get us going here. Down the pit straight he goes, up the hill, in towards turn one. Very difficult first corner, this. Not only that, because there's not a lot of room on the outside to actually run off. The track limits do creep up on you very quickly. Up through turn two now, up the hill and towards turn three. You can see where they've added the chicane for the MotoGP. Up the hill now, very tight corner again. Got to take the inside, got to be careful of wheel spin on the way out. And then down the hill in towards turn four. This is I'd say, in my opinion, the most difficult corner on this track. The track, drops away from you here to the outside, and there's always the possibility you run into the gravel. You use as much of the curb and the boards on the outside as you can, but you got to be careful not to go too much. Through 5, in through 6 and 7 now. Definitely believe that we're going to see some lawn mowers today. Very easy to go off track in that section in through, turns 7 and 8. Now the double right-handers of turns 9 and 10. Got to be aware of track limits on the way out. They've actually, in real life, added a bit of strip of gravel there on the outside to prevent cars from running wide. Track limit's usually a big problem here. 104.874. That's a pretty solid lap, if I say so myself. Alia's gone second, 106.169. But a good starting attempt there from Shabs. His teammate of Lord Alum's gone 104.822. Oh, by the way, on the mediums. 5/100ths faster than his teammates, but Jag Greg goes 104.285. That's a whole half a second of difference. You talk about a domination in a qualifying session, a half a second difference between first and second is quite a lot. What in the hell was that? We've got one of the Williams drivers up next. It's going to be that of Savvy's gone 7th. Not a very competitive lap, I don't think. Cole Paradox has gone 4th. That's a fun name to say. And then Trim has gone 4th. Next up, the other RB of Spider, who's gone 8th. And it looks as if the next up around the line is going to be the Mercedes of Adonis. I think may have a good one here. 104.249, new provisional pole. Gets Jag Greg by less than 4/100ths of a second. Very close amongst the top two. We've got a Red Bull coming around the line next. I believe it's going to be that of Mikey. Yes, it will. He's going to go 8th. The Sauber of Justerini starting one now. Sorry, that's not Justerini. Well, he will be starting one here in a second. Ali's gone 5th. The Ferrari of Doug has yet to start one, although I believe that's the driver behind. C. Rees has gone 11th for the time being, and I think that's going to pretty much do it for our first round of runs here, unless... Let's go along with Giustarini, why not? He's going to be making his way up the hill into turn 1 here shortly. Got pretty much clear track ahead of him, uses a lot of the curve on the outside. Does quite well to go across through the apex, gets halfway decent acceleration, DRS is activated. Riding that curb on the way into turn 3. Does take that corner a little bit wider. Maybe could it have been better, I'm not sure. Halfway decent looking lap so far from the Sauber. A little bit of lockup on the way into the corner. Tell you what, Giustarini for the time being looking like it's a pretty good lap here. You can see how much he's having to try to fight this car and push it forward. You know, with how much more responsive these cars have gotten, they've become much more difficult to drive. We had a race, what was it, yesterday at the Albert Park circuit in Australia. That track has gotten 10 times harder with the amount of pace and the amount of sensitivity steering that these cars have nowadays. Giustarini's going to go 4th, 104.734 was his time, not bad at all. 2 Saubers in the mix here, as well as the 2 McLarens. A Mercedes and a Haas round out the top 6. As next up around the line, I do believe it's going to be that of the Alpine of Trim, who's actually going to go 5th, 104.820, improves by nearly 0.3 of a second, and gets himself, look at that, 1/1000th quicker than Lord Allen for the 5th spot. That's about as... Sorry, that's... yeah. No, he is 1/1000th clear, that is true. That's got back to the leader, yeah. That is a ridiculous statistic there. So it's going to be dead even between these two. I tell you what, already the quality of the midfield starting to shape up here. Of course, Adonis has a good gap on the rest of, you know, the top 3. He's got less than a half a tenth back to Jag Greg, but Shabs is 3.5 tenths back. Giustarini 4.5 tenths, nearly 5. Trim is 5.5 tenths. 1,000th behind him is Lord Allen, and then well, the first second goes down to Hellion. Matter of fact, Cole Paradox and Hellion separated by 5/1000ths of a second. Ali and Marcus separated by less than 3/100ths. Tell you what, a lot of competition here amongst the top 10. This is looking to be brilliant. I apologize if you hear a bit of a noise going on that you can't quite make out what it is. That's my fan. I tell you what, it has been blazing hot all week here in the States. And I've got my fan on. Hopefully that's not too disruptive to you. But it appears Adonis on an outlap now. I tell you what, the sky's getting quite gray here at the Red Bull Ring. It does look as if almost like rain could be in the picture in not a lot of time. That would be, I think, quite detrimental to the proceedings here in qualifying. Adonis through the first couple of corners looks pretty good. No complaints so far. He's going to be up the hill in towards turns 2 and 3 now. And, yep, about a 10.5 quicker so far, which is surprising because that 104.2 that he has, I thought is a pretty good lap. The fact that he's already taken a 10.5 off of that, tell you what, the rest of the grid might be in trouble. Jag Greg, 104.159 to the line, gets Adonis by a tenth, but that was on Adonis's most previous attempt. Adonis making his way through Sector 3 now. Again, it has gotten quite gray, hasn't it? Does almost look as if rain could be on its way. Lord Allen, 104.132. New fastest lap for the McLaren driver. 2.5/100ths clear of Greg. Adonis to the line does improve, only by 5/100ths at the end of it. The top 3 now within a tenth of a second. Very impressive quality of the grid so far here in Jag Thursday. Now we've got the Red Bull coming around the line. I believe it's going to be that of C. Rees. And look at that. You just saw that. I just saw that. Rain on its way. All but 2 cars out on track currently with 9 minutes to go. The rain is absolutely falling here. Giustarini starting his final attempt. A couple of cars already on their way in. The Ferrari of Marcus making his way through Sector 3. The Ferrari of Doug making his way, starting one now. tell you what here, this has thrown a huge wrench into the plans of several drivers. Lord Allam doing his best while he's kind of tiptoeing his way back to the line. Adonis has finished his. He's invalidated. Shabs is 2.5 seconds slower through Sector 1. Giustarini not on a quick one here. Trim trying his best up the hill. He's got the Ferrari ahead of him. Might get a slight tow. Across the line is Little Jim. He doesn't improve. And I tell you what, lads, this might be the end of the qualifying session with this rain that's falling. Unless perhaps, as Ali retires that in the pit lane, this looks like it very well could be it for the qualifying session here. The car's coming in. Yep. Doesn't really look as if we're going to get much more running. Competitive at least. Still 8 minutes to go. What we could see is we might see a couple of the drivers fit the intermediates and just get some wet weather running happening if, perhaps the rain is going to be on its way for the race. We may see that in that case. But Lord Allam, what I am pretty sure, will go down to pole position with a 104.132. Top 3 drivers within 1/10 of a second of each other. That first second goes all the way down to 9th. Allam's taking the hard way out here. Oh my God, what was that? What? I mean, I had a full mouth of water about ready to actually spit take all over my screen. I've never seen anything like that before. What? So yeah, just waiting for these last couple of cars to kind of retire in the pit lane. Maybe do we see some wet weather, practice? That would kind of be what would, get this session relegated to. Would be more of a practice session than anything else. Although it does look as if J Trim's going to be on its way in here. We're going to get Alex on the way in and C Rees on the way in as well, and that's probably going to do it for our session. And yep, looks as if our guys are starting to retire now. Hey, that's good though. Quicker to the race. DRS has finally been disabled, and I think that will do it. Officially, just waiting for some of these guys to retire. So at the end of it in qualifying, top 3, Allam, Greg, Adonis by less than 1/10. Shabs 3.5 behind him. Good result for the McLarens. Giustarini 5th. Trim 6th. Lil Jim 7th. Ali 8th. Marcus 9th. 10th is Mikey. 11th is Cole Paradox. 12th Hellion. 13th Doug. 14th Dunda. 15th Duarte. Or Alex. Either one. Savvy 16th. Golden Wolf 17th. Series 18th. Spider 19th. And there's 2 Spiders. Fantastic. CRL Spider 19th. Spider 99988. And so now I'm curious, what's the weather going to be like? Well, it's clear as day, isn't it? Slightly a shock after the amount of wet weather that we did have in the qualifying session. But hey, welcome change. Especially these days when it does appear that, dry weather running does provide better racing than the wet. Some would have been hoping for more of a... an extra curveball thrown into the mix, but doesn't seem to be the case here. Just a reminder, the schedule yet to come here in the JAG Thursday Series. Hang on, I got pinged somewhere along the line. Where have I been pinged at? I don't know. Anyways, yep, just a reminder of the calendar yet to come here. Of course, we head to Suzuka next time out on July 4th for a sprint race. Should be fantastic. Silverstone, round number 4. Netherlands, round number 5. Mexico, round 6. Singapore, round 7. Canada, round 8. Monza, round 9. Penultimate round 10 at Qatar. And Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Corniche Circuit, to finish off this season. That should be a fantastic race, that. I will say this, I do like The, this is going to sound slightly, I mean, I'm going to put this in a way, I do like the shortened season, okay? I've been in leagues with 23 race seasons. The main Thursday league that I do has, 15. Formation lap getting us underway here. The main Thursday league that I do at 9:30 at night does, 15. But this 11-week season quite all right to me. I do feel like it's a good amount of racing. It keeps drivers involved, no real mid-season burnout. But the formation lap underway now. Let's have a look at the tires we've chosen to start on. All but two have got... What in the hell? Hang on just a minute. I apologize. We've got the McLaren around. Several cars going around now. It was that the McLaren of Shabs had gone for a spin. I don't know what's happened there. That car had a trip through the gravel. Anyways, Doug and Golden Wolf, or sorry, not Golden Wolf, C. Rees have both gone hard. Everybody else is on the mediums. So that means really it's going to be an all-out dogfight on the same compound of tires to see who's actually the most dominant driver. Again, we only saw, really half a session worth of competitive running in the condensed qualifying that we did have with the rain that was on its way. So maybe there are some guys at the, towards the midfield, maybe towards the back, that didn't quite have a opportunity to put in a proper timed lap attempt, which could be working their way through the field. That's always a possibility. But it will be Lord Alum on pole, Greg second, and Adonis third. Remember, the top three separated by less than a tenth of a second. Matter of fact, it was 3/4 of a tenth or less. It was a fantastic qualifying session, despite how short that it was. So now we'll have to wait and see, how does Lord Alum or Greg get away here. I'm quite curious to see. Alum has the outside line of the first corner. If Greg gets a good getaway, it could very well be a competitive run into the first corner. It looks like Savvy's been disqualified. Doesn't appear it's going to give us a good camera angle, but we'll deal with what we have. Here we go then, lights turning on. 3, 4, and eventually 5 lights in Spielberg. And away they go, and it looks as if Jag Greg has gotten a miles better of a start than Lord Alum. Already cleared the McLaren into the first corner. Behind they go, 4 abreast inwards. Both the Saubers getting round there, improving positions. A bit of a conundrum. Cars having to go wide, all towards through the midfield here. Lil Jim, Marcus, Mikey, Cole Paradox, all having to take evasive action there. As up the hill they go into turn 3. The Red Bull on the inside can't quite hold on to the positions, as it looks as if Marcus now a 10-second penalty for corner cutting is towards the back. There's a lot of shuffling about happening. CRL Spider has fallen back. Justerini and Mikey side by side here. We've got Cole Paradox, Trim, and Hellion battling for positions then. What a chaotic start here at the Red Bull Ring. Thankfully, nobody's gone round, and the track is green. Greg has a 6.5 of a second advantage over Lord Alum. Adonis trying to get into this picture as well, as we have a V-carb at the back. It's Cole Paradox, who unfortunately has gone for a spin, exiting turn 6, it appears. As down the pit straight they go. Adonis 0.3 of a second behind Lord Alum for the second spot. I'm actually quite curious to see what they do. Oh, and Jag Greg's gone around from the lead of the Grand Prix. He's lost it exiting the first corner. And that will see the Haas tumble down the order. DRS activated. Lord Alum has taken the lead. Ali and Shab side by side up through turn 3, and it looks as if the Sauber will get away halfway decently. Up through the corner he goes, 1/10 of a second between Alum and Adonis. Just give me 1 second real quick. Sorry, I thought I was going to have a bit of a technical issue there. As we exit and head towards turns 9 and 10, Adonis behind Lord Alum here by 2.5 of a second. The Mercedes trying to reel in the McLaren. Remember, DRS activated after lap 1. So Adonis now, down the pit straight he goes. Will he have the ability to get Lord Alum to the inside through turn 1? It doesn't appear that he will this time. Ali may have the fastest lap, but he's behind and outside of that DRS second window. Adonis trying it up the left-hand side and will get the top spot. Marcus and Shabs battling. There go side by side behind, as it looks as if again side by side here up through turn 3. Alum tried to get Adonis back to the inside, and still the Mercedes atop the grid, but Alum's going to try one here with DRS to the inside going through turn 4. The McLaren may have a good one here. I've gone away from it accidentally. And the McLaren of Lord Alum retakes the lead. That has allowed Ali to get back into this picture. Through turns 6, 7, and 8 now, the top 3 separated by less than a second. DRS, such a crucial feature to this track. Again, as we were talking about in the build-up, going to be a lot of what happens. Three-tenths of a second. Does Ali have the ability to get up to Adonis here and make a move happen? I don't think it's going to be now, but perhaps on the way up to turn 3. DRS activated now. It's going to depend on Adonis. Is he going to try the left-hand side again? Ali's going to look and hope that a mistake's made. Contact between the two. Adonis has the outside. Lord Alum on the inside. Ali's going to try to send it down low, but doesn't get it. And the top 3 stays the same. But Adonis now with DRS. Perhaps can he find something to the inside of Lord Alum? Perhaps does he try the long way around? That could also happen, as it looks as if, we got a bit of a conundrum going on back here. Both of the Haas drivers losing positions. I think Series and Spider swapping about happening there. Spider now trying to look to the inside of Savvy for the 13th spot. We'll head back to that in a minute. Lord Alum still with the lead of the Grand Prix. Adonis second, Ali third. Marcus with a 10-second penalty for corner cutting is currently 4th. Shabs 5th. Lil Jim 6th. Mikey 7th. Justerini 8th. Trim 9th. And Hellion 10th. And then a bit of a 5-second gap back to Alex Duarte in 11th. Up the hill through turn 1. Adonis gets really close to the back end of Lord Alum here. I'm wondering if the Mercedes is going to get a good enough traction to make something happen up the hill through turn 3. Here he goes looking for the inside up the hill. Adonis still on the inside, but I don't think he's really committed to it. Little bit of contact there. Alum's gone on to the curb on the outside, and the Mercedes will take the spot. The McLaren now with DRS. He'll find the outside once again. And Ali, can he perhaps send it down the inside on Adonis? No. Tell you what, Ali is definitely threatening for that second position, but can't seem to be able to commit for any of the spots. Alex Duarte and Doug L battling side by side now going through turn 4. Looks as if Alex has done well to get around the inside and take back that 11th spot from the Ferrari. 0.3 of a second here between Mikey and Lil Jim as they make their way around, about to begin the 6th lap of the Grand Prix. Ali takes a lot of the curb on the way out. Very even between all of the top 3 here. We'll go along with Marcus, because if a move happens, he's going to have a pretty damn good look at it. Dundas picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Here they go. By the way, Marcus trying to get in on this as well. Lil Jim gets around Shabs. So Adonis trying the inside. Ali, can he find a way on the outside? No, Alum's going to block the outside line. Marcus trying to get in on it. Still side by side for the lead is Lord Alum and Adonis here as they file exiting turn number 3. Ali is going to try the outside. He'll have perhaps at least the Mercedes, but Alum's going to have to cut to the outside and block off the line. Ali trying to turn in, gets contact at. Adonis goes to the inside and will get both the Sauber and the McLaren here. If he can hold the spot, it's still side by side as they make their way through. Ali tried the inside, contact made, and will fall down to 4th. Marcus takes 3rd. This allows Lil Jim into the picture now. Perhaps as well, Adonis and Lord Alum still battling for the top spot here as we about to enter the 7th lap of the Grand Prix, 30 to go. And already some fantastic battling happening. Got a yellow flag at the back. Jag Greg, I'm afraid, has gone round again in his Haas. Not well at all. Up the hill through turn 1. Adonis looks as if he may have a good enough run here. We'll go along with Marcus to see. Adonis is going to look for the left-hand side. He's actually kind of favored that left line into turn 3 the whole race so far. Marcus chilling. Shabs and Lil Jim still battling. Oh, Shabs and Lil Jim being forced off track. Both of them nearly into the wall. They're going to cut back in front. The Trim has nearly lost the car trying to avoid. That one was sketchy then. Lil Jim and Shabs losing positions. This may allow Justerini to move up some spots here. 5-6 car jumble for position here. Justerini to the right side of Shabs. It looks as if he's going to have the 8th spot. Oh, bit of a lockup for Justerini. Shabs going to get back down to the inside, or perhaps was that contact made? Tough to tell. Ali within a 10th and a half here of Marcus. Back for the 3rd spot. Again, the battle for the lead still 0.4 of a second. Ali, oh, that's a big slide. He's caught it well. Adonis following Lord Alum in pursuit here up the hill through turn 1. Again, whoever has good acceleration, they've been pretty bang on even the whole time so far. We'll open the telemetry just to have a look at battery percentage. There goes Marcus looking up the inside now. Contact with Adonis. Contact with Lord Alum as well. And Marcus is going to fall a couple of positions here. He's actually inside of Ali for the time being. Ali's going to try it now around Adonis. And can he find the inside of Lord Alum as well for the lead? 2 by 2 as they enter through the 4th corner. The absolute quality of racing here. I mean, it looks like NASCAR nearly 2 by 2 filing through turn 6 and 7. Lord Alum is going to stay ahead. Ali 2nd. Marcus 3rd. Adonis trying for 4th. Trying to get back to 3rd. Mikey trying to enter this battle as well. JJ Trim in 6th. Little Jim 7th. And then Shabs about a 2nd behind, but he's battling with Justerini for that 8th spot. Justerini may have a fair look here. He's going to try the inside even before they get up the hill. Justerini, if he wants to clear him. Yes, he has. Adonis has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Matter of fact, he's gone well wide. Couple of drivers going wide. Then Lil Jim now to the inside. He may get Adonis, and it looks like he will. And Ali is going to get Lord Alum for the lead of the Grand Prix up through turn 3. What brilliant racing we're seeing here. Oh, and someone's gone round to the back. I think Shabs, Justerini, and Hellion have all gone round. CRL Spider, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Lord Alum and Ali now side by side. Ali's going to have to try the inside line. Can he get around Lord Alum? Yes, he can. Lord Alum's going to have to make another attempt here quite shortly. Marcus still in 3rd with his 10-second penalty. I mean, the absolute quality of racing that we've seen, it's been very dicey and difficult to navigate through all the drivers involved. And it looks like Alex Duarte has left the session. He's going to be losing spots to Doug and Savvy here shortly, I'm sure. Everybody within the top 7 is within 0.8 of a second or less. And by the way, only one of them within 0.8 of a second of the next. Everybody else 0.4 or less. It's absolutely ridiculous here. Here goes Marcus trying the inside. Alum's going to try the inside of Ali. It's a 3-car battle up the hill into turn 3. Who's going to get it? Alum stays ahead. Contact made. He's going to accidentally force Ali wide, and it looks as if Mikey's going to try the bottom now. All the while, Lord Alum starting to pull away, but Mikey up to 3rd. Ali still in position. Mikey on the inside. This is unbelievable stuff here. Side by side still, Ali and Mikey, and I'm surprised we haven't seen any front wings going a flying because there's been a lot of contact, a lot of argy-bargy, fisticuffs, whatever you want to call it, between several of these drivers. Jag Greg up to a 2nd-time penalty already. I mean, absolutely unbelievable here. Adonis, the tail end of the train, a 10th of a way from JJ Trim. Lil Jim 5th, 3.5 behind Mikey. Mikey 5.5 behind Ali. Ali 3.5 behind Marcus, who's 3.5 behind Lord Alum. This is unbelievable here. I mean, look at that. From 1st to 7th is 2 seconds. And now it's Marcus, perhaps. Is he going to look to the inside of Lord Alum here, up the hill into turn 1? I'm thinking Marcus can probably, I think at least perhaps in his opinion, he can get that 10-second penalty removed. That's why he's trying so hard. You know, normally with a 10-second penalty, that's going to take you out of contention, really. Lil Jim and Mikey side by side going through turn 4. Still side by side now, doing as best they can. A 10-second penalty like that cannot be served and erased. A tenner that you pick up in one go Obviously, if you picked up 2 5s, you can serve them in 5 increments of the 5-second penalties in the pit stops. I don't believe that's the case with a full tenner that's been picked up. So we have a yellow flag, 2 cars round at turns 7 and 8. Spider, one of them, CRL Spider, leaving the scene of the crime. I think it's Rees involved as well, perhaps. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Tenth and a half between Lil Jim trying the inside of Mikey. I don't think he's going to have the room this time to make it happen. Adonis looking in. Adonis goes clean into the back of the Alpine in question. Got Lil Jim now trying the inside on Mikey, heading down the hill towards turn 4. And it looks as if Marcus and Lord Allen battling here. Lord Allen's going to have to switch to the right side. Marcus is going to try to defend as much as he can. Look at this. I mean, this is ridiculous here. Top 3 cars within 0.3 of a second of each other. Never mind Mikey and Lil Jim behind less than a tenth. So much happening, so much battles up and down the grid. Adonis nearly got turned on the inside of JJ Trim there for the 6th spot. And now Marcus and Allen side by side. Allen's going to get back ahead of the Ferrari in question. As they go through turns 9 and 10, we have a yellow flag. Golden Wolf is spun at the back. I'm afraid that's going through turns 6 and 7. Up the hill again now through turns 1 and 2. Getting closer to halfway through this race, and by God, what a race it's been. Allen and Marcus side by side again. Marcus really had to get Lord Allen down to the inside there. Trying his best he can, trying to use all the track that he can. So it's a tenth and a half now. Allen to the inside. A lot of contact between the 2 leaders. They're going to get shuffled. Ali might look as if he could be in position here, but Lil Jim now wants it, and Lil Jim entering the fray to the inside of Ali, and he'll get the 3rd spot. This is incredible. Not to mention, we got tire strategy in play as well. Everybody on the same tire compound except for 2. As Lord Allen's going to get to the inside of Marcus by the time they get into turn 9, and the lead changes once more. Ali in position now, trying his best to get back into position on Lil Jim. Everybody from the top to P7 within DRS range of each other here as we have a yellow flag somewhere along the line. Look how far Allen had to defend on the left-hand side. Marcus to the inside, contact made, still contact made, and now Lil Jim trying it on the inside. It's going to be 3 abreast, heading towards turn 4. As CRL Spider, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, but now Lil Jim takes the lead, and Lord Allen's going to have to outbrake. Look at this, all sorts of contact happening now. Allen to the inside of Marcus. All that's really doing is holding up Ali. I would like to believe that Ali could be battling for this lead, but the 2 drivers ahead of him battling so fiercely here. Ali really having to dive to the inside of Allen. Allen starting to fall backwards now. Big slide from Ali. Has to catch it twice. And now Lord Allen may get the 3rd spot back. Yes, he does. And look at this, the Red Bull to the inside of Ali here. Ali's actually going to pick up 3 seconds for multiple warnings, I think, due to the fact with the Red Bull on the inside wanted to try to afford space. Adonis trying to find something on Mikey here. C. Reese, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Contact with the back end of the Red Bull. Now the battle for the lead. Marcus is going to get around Lil Jim. And Lord Allen, whoa, Ali, oh, and Ali's gone round! Oh, somehow it doesn't appear that he's hit anything other than the brake markers on the side of the track, but he tried to swerve to the inside, and that car spun away from him violently. So Ali falls back to 8th. That leaves the battle for the lead now between Marcus, Lil Jim, Lord Allen, Mikey, Adonis, and JJ Trim. And we're not even halfway through this race yet. Ali within 2.5 tenths of Shabs here. I'm going to assume we're going to see pit stops within these next couple of laps, and there we go. Lord Allen on the way in, the Aston Martin. Sorry, that's also the Williams of Lil Jim on the way in. And now this is interesting. This is where people are going to get separated here, is based on tire strategy. Marcus in, or it looks as if he will be able to serve some of his 10-second, 5 at a time at least. That was not... He was... I'm sorry. He was not in the pit lane, in the pit box for 10 seconds. I need to actually go back and count that, because I do not think he has gotten all 10 of those seconds served. I mean, he has fallen back to 13th, but I figured that was going to be kind of normal with his pit stop. He absolutely served 5 seconds, as it appears the two Williams drivers are going to invert position here. The majority of the drivers go into the hard tires now. Still those at the top of the grid on the mediums. I'm assuming they're going to be coming in here relatively shortly. Adonis nearly got into the back end of Mikey in the top 3. 3 out of the top 4 pit here. Alum in, Mikey in, JJ Trim in. All to the hard tires, I'm assuming. Adonis stays out once more. So the hards for the Alpine. Is that a double stack for the McLaren? It certainly looked as if it could have been. Well, this order is going to be totally shaken up now. Adonis still in the lead. Although 17 laps in now, I'm assuming those tires are going to be rightfully cooked. And we're going to be looking at probably... Well, if Adonis stays out a couple of laps, I mean, it's going to hurt him, but at least he'll be able to have some tires for the end of the run here. A safety car, I'm sure, is not going to be out of the question with how hard these guys are battling up and down the grid. Lord Allen to the inside of Cole Paradox. And it looks as if he's going to get that one with ease. Adonis going through turns 8 and 9 now. He's committed to the inside of the track. He will be pitting this time as Adonis. So Lord Allen, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings now. Adonis, most likely to the hards. Yep, there it is. Shabs, 3-second penalty for him. Cole Paradox on his way in now. That'll promote Doug L to the lead of the Grand Prix. Lil Jim will go to second. Lord Allen, I think, will get third. I'm interested to see where Adonis will come out. It's going to be side by side, I think. No, Ali's not going to get to him in time, unfortunately. Looks like Jag Greg getting around Cole Paradox, but this is a good battle happening here. Spider, then a couple of tenths of Savvy. He's going to try the inside line up through turn 1. Still side by side now, and it does look as if Spider's going to get that one. Oh, look at this. The V-carb of Cole Paradox joining the fray as these couple of cars are battling here. Dunda's going to go through the middle. We'll get up to 15th. It's Cole Paradox still on the inside. And it looks as if he's going to take that one for now, although we do have Justerini and C-Rees. Oh, but somebody was in the gravel just now. I didn't quite see who it was. Helly into the inside of C-Rees for 11th. He'll get that one with ease. Lil Jim now a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And Doug into the pit lane. The good news now, though, is that we do have the battle for the lead both on penalties. And it'll be an absolute, just pure battle for position between those two. 11 out of the 19 drivers on track with penalties. Got Doug into the pit lane still. Good battle between Ali and Marcus heading up the hill. In towards turn number 3 for the 6th spot. Half a second here between Mikey and Lord Allen for the lead of the Grand Prix. Mikey in a good spot here, doesn't have a penalty. Neither does JJ Trim. Matter of fact, if JJ Trim here can hold on and, try to hunt down Mikey and get that 3rd spot, he'll be in a halfway decent position towards the end of the race, I'm sure. Lord Allen now a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. He's up to 6. Finally, it almost seems like now is a moment to kind of catch my breath here, but Adonis is going to have a look at JJ Trim here, probably up the hill in towards turn 3. Here's turn 1. He's not close enough now. Although JJ Trim has not had a good go of turn 1. Adonis may get this even before they get up to the corner. Jag Greg up to 9 seconds in penalty now. So we have a yellow flag. I think Greg has actually lost it coming out of the final corner. Yes, he has. He is relatively slow getting back up to speed here. Marcus has gotten around Ali. Shabs has gotten around, been taken by Justerini up through turn 3. Shabs and Justerini still. Shabs will actually get back around the Sauber in question. I'm actually a little surprised Justerini, the mistake he did make is going to, I think really, unless there's a safety car, prevent him from having a hand in attempting to win this race. Spider and Cole Paradox side by side now. Good battle happening here, still side by side between the Aston Martin and the V-Carb. Ali on 3-second penalty now. Oh, bit of contact there. Cole Paradox into the grass. Still side by side here. Cole Paradox to the inside will get the 13th spot for the time being. By the way, can we have a look now? I'm sorry, we'll have a look at Marcus being overtaken by Ali here. Can we actually have a look at positions gained and lost? Lil Jim up 6, Mikey up 7. Series up 6, Spider up 6. Down 16 is that of Jag Greg, unfortunately, as we all saw the spins with him. Shabs to the inside of Justerini will get the spot. Hellion may have a look at this now. Jag Greg has retired, that thankfully being in the pit lane. That will save us a safety car. As they now work their way through Sector 3, it would appear Mikey's still 0.3 of a second behind Lord Alum. DRS activated for everybody involved naturally. Oh, has that Haas come back out onto the circuit? We'll get a look here with Lil Jim. Yeah, that Haas is right in the middle of the circuit here. Hang on just a second. Holy crap. Why has the game decided to do that? I mean, look, oh, that car's blatantly in the middle of the circuit now. Finally, he pulls off. And look at this. Shabs is going to get the inside of Justerini here. Spider up to 3 seconds for multiple warnings again. As we got a battle for the lead, Lil Jim and Lord Alum battling it out here. Lord Alum on 6 seconds of penalty naturally. Mikey looking in behind, trying to keep it careful. Getting closer to 10 laps to go. Cole Paradox and Spider battling it out. We'll go along with that battle at the back end of the grid real quick. Dunda around Spider. Savvy trying to get in on this perhaps. There goes Savvy to the inside of Spider. A lot of contact being made. Thankfully he didn't go fully around because that one was close. But look at this again. 5 cars battling for the lead of this Grand Prix, 2 of which without penalty. Up the hill heading towards turns 2 and 3 they go. Doesn't appear as if there's going to be any rash decisions this time, except Marcus is going to go round the outside of Ali through the corner. Adonis on the back end of JJ Trim here looking for it. JJ Trim within a 10th and a half, trying to find perhaps the back end of Mikey, but nothing of it as the grid files their way now through Sector 2, heading into Sector 3. Justerini and Shabs battling it out side by side again, this time coming out of Turn 4. And it looks as if is the McLaren going to have the advantage on the outside now, heading towards Turn 6 and 7. No, it doesn't appear that it will. Justerini's going to get that spot well. Exiting the final corner, DRS activated one more. Trim had a look to the inside of Mikey again. That's going to be a battle right there for the eventual win of the Grand Prix if all stays the same. Marcus with 3 seconds of penalty. Adonis picked up an additional 3. Mikey surely picked up warnings there. Lil Jim to the inside of Lord Alum. Side by side up the hill. Mikey trying to dive inwards, perhaps find a move. No. Lil Jim will have to try to break the toe here. DRS is activated for the McLaren. Adonis looking forward on JJ Trim. In through the corner, Lil Jim and Lord Alum side by side here. Looks as if Lord Alum's going to get back ahead, of course, with 6 seconds of penalty to negotiate with here. We're going to have to actually physically count up how many lead changes there's been in this Grand Prix. Ridiculous. Through 9 and 10 now. ARD Hellion, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That leaves all but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 drivers without penalty. At least the good news with that is we're going to see a lot more of these drivers battle for position rather than on Delta with penalty. Mikey and Lil Jim side by side now. Lil Jim's actually going to have better acceleration around the outside and keep the spot. JJ Trim is either conserving here or running much slower laps. Mikey to the inside, contact with Lil Jim. The car temporarily had a bit of a slide there. JJ Trim to the inside of Mikey. This is for what could be the eventual win of the Grand Prix. JJ Trim to the inside and gets the 3rd spot. Adonis looking for it now. A 10.5 separating Adonis from Mikey from Trim. Fantastic racing up and down the grid. And I apologize to those fellas at the back that haven't gotten a lot of screen time today, but when we're battling for the leads of the Grand Prix, I'm sure you can understand. That's a big slide from Rees. Somehow he's actually held on to it, maybe with the aid of Spider Eyes inside there. That could have very well been the case, because that was close to being catastrophic indeed. This time by at the line will be 10 laps to go. 10.5 here for Adonis. He's going to try to switch to the inside of Mikey. Not to mention Ali and Marcus trying to get into the fray now. Shabs to the inside of Justerini. Still side by side now. Justerini gets around the outside for the time being. Shabs is going to have DRS and will get back ahead of the Sauber in question. Never mind Hellion trying to get back in on this. Great battles going on here. Lord Alum has amassed at least a 2nd gap between himself and Lil Jim. But the gap from Lord Alum back to JJ Trim is only a 2.5. So for the time being, Lord Alum would drop probably to 8th. Give or take the other penalties involved for drivers around them. I mean, if JJ Trim picks up a penalty, if Mikey does either, it's going to be really all to play for on track purely than anything else. We will have ARD Hellion battling Justerini here shortly. 10 laps to go. To the outside chooses Justerini. To the inside chooses Hellion. And unfortunately, Shabs has kind of been sucked in the middle there. Nothing really to save. Oh, lots of contact! And off is the Mercedes. Well, I hate to say it. That one could have definitely been avoidable. Definitely some damage on the Mercedes. What the extent of it is, I'm not quite sure for the time being. We can only get a better look at it. Justerini, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. He's up to 6. Got a battle here between Adonis and Mikey exiting the final corner. I don't suppose that overtake's going to be made for now. Can we now get a look at Helly and how much damage he has? Well, he's missing the end plate on the right front side. And into the pits he goes. Adonis now up the inside of Mikey. Side by side here for the 4th spot. Adonis still trying to attempt it here. Mikey and Marcus following in suit. Ali's kind of fallen slightly behind, but he's still right here. Trying to find some form of move here. Mikey to the inside of Adonis. He'll get the spot. Perhaps. Only just. Only temporarily. Still side by side. And it will appear that Mikey will be able to at least get ahead of Adonis, or at least stay ahead. Ali trying to enter this battle. 6 seconds of penalty for him. Only 5 drivers on the grid yet to pick up a penalty, 2 of which battling for what could be the win of the Grand Prix, although Mikey is 2.5 behind JJ Trim. Matter of fact, if Adonis or Marcus overtakes Mikey, it could be really all over. Spider with 15 seconds of penalty contact between C-Rees and Dunda. As it looks as if something's happened with Mikey. He's been overtaken by both Marcus, Adonis, and Ali here. 3 cars overtake Mikey, who's fallen down to 7th. And now Adonis and Ali side by side. Still side by side, wheel to wheel, slight bits of contact there. In real life, that would probably result in a puncture. Still side by side, Ali to the inside and hits the inside wall. I think maybe... Is he missing front wing? No, it doesn't appear that he is. Lucky break for Ali to not miss front wing. Absolutely chaotic race it's been so far. JJ Trim has undoubtedly gone over track limits that time. And you'd have to think that he's probably 1 warning away from a penalty now. And if that's the case, it's going to be all to play for on track between at least him and Lil Jim. Lil Jim, though, for the time being, still up 5 positions. Good day for him. Marcus in position as well, though Marcus at 3 seconds. Not to mention Marcus trying to actively find a way into this battle. Mikey 0.3 of a second behind Adonis. Marcus actually going to fall outside of DRS range temporarily on the couple of cars ahead, but it's a 3-car battle now for the lead with JJ Trim, Lil Jim, and Lord Alum. Alum on 6 seconds of penalty. He will be falling out of position, but the more he can stay ahead and continue to put down good enough laps, will be less positions he does fall. I don't think he's really going to fall that much, being that Marcus and Adonis on 3 seconds and 6 seconds respectively. Look at the gap from the leader on back. Yeah, he'll fall to... If nobody else had penalties, he'd fall to 7th, but that's not the case. As Dunda, 3-second penalty, that puts him up to 6. 6 laps to go here. And what's been a fantastic Grand Prix here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. Lil Jim to the inside of Lord Alum now. Lead change it is, and I think maybe has he gotten Lord Alum there? Not necessarily convincingly, as Alum still trying the inside. JJ Trim, little bit of wheel spin getting back on the throttle. He'll actually be more under pressure from Marcus, but it's Alum now to the inside of Lil Jim. CRL Spider, 3 seconds of penalty puts him up to 12. Lord Alum gets the spot back. And a 4-car battle for the win of this Grand Prix, potentially. The podium, definitely. The win, well, it's going to depend on if JJ Trim picks up a penalty, which we think he's on at least 2 track limits warnings. Do we actually get the race director? We do. I mean, look at this total list of penalties here. Oh my god, it's impossible. So 5 laps to go. JJ Trim, half a second away from Lord Alum, as Mikey behind, 3-second penalty for multiple warning. That will eliminate Mikey's opportunity to really win this race. JJ Trim to the inside versus Lil Jim. Contact made. That was a lot of contact, too. I think JJ Trim kind of lucky to not lose a bit of his front wing. Down into turn 4, still all to play for. JJ Trim's going to go wide. Marcus is going to slip up the inside here. And maybe he's going to try it round the outside through turn 6. Side by side here, JJ Trim and Marcus. JJ Trim, he's got to really kind of back out of this, because if he doesn't and he spins round, his opportunity to win is all out the window. And somehow he'll actually stay ahead of Marcus after all said and done. 4 laps to go this time by. The battle still between Lil Jim and Lord Alum. And of course JJ Trim on this as well. Although JJ more under pressure from Marcus than anything else. JJ Trim, all he's got to do for these last 4 laps is keep it within track limits. JJ Trim now, up the inside. Chooses not to look for it yet. Kind of a game of cat and mouse between the two. Mikey and Adonis swapping positions behind. That's for the 5th spot. Although, of course, Adonis on penalty. Little Jim now to the outside. Lord Allen back to the inside. And another lead change here. 0.3 of a second. And I mean, again, this is absolutely ridiculous happening now. A second separates the top four, and only just by the way, as now Marcus trying to find the inside of JJ Trim going through turns 9 and 10. He's going to really try to send it here. JJ Trim goes wide, and that's a 3-second penalty, but he could probably get that removed. JJ Trim has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. He could, though, in my opinion, absolutely get that removed. Marcus has not afforded him room on the outside. That is a big moment in this race. As Lil Jim now looking to the inside of Lord Allen, he's not going to get it. 3 laps to go. Adonis and Mikey battling now still. As Ali trying to get in this too. Ali to the inside of Mikey. As Lil Jim and Lord Allen again battling, and Lord Allen's going to get it back again. Series an additional 3-second penalty. Mikey G and Adonis battling it out then. This is an unbelievable turn of events here between Lord Allen and Lil Jim. Lil Jim 7.5 tenths of a second behind, but for the time being still has in the position to win the Grand Prix unless he gets overtaken or unless he picks up 6 seconds of penalty. 2 laps to go. Lil Jim gonna look to the inside of Lord Allen going up the hill through turn 3. Not gonna happen this time. Unless maybe does he get it heading into turn 4. Mikey G and Ali swapping positions again. Lil Jim's going to try it on the outside. Lord Allen, is he going to tuck in behind? Yes, he will. Oh, that's a big slide for Lil Jim. And Allen trying to get in on this now. Mikey G and Ali still now battling. Not to mention Adonis trying to get in on this. It's 3 cars all trying for the spot. Contact left, right, front, and center. Everywhere you look. One final lap of this Grand Prix yet to come here. Not to mention RLS Marcus trying to get in on this. Lil Jim, we think, or was it JJ Trim? I think it is JJ Trim, we think, can get that 3-second penalty taken off. Marcus to the inside of Lord Allen now, up the hill through 1. Contact made, and they're both going to go wide. JJ Trim now is going to look for it. He may have an opportunity to at least get Lord Allen. He's going to try the left-hand side. We get a car spun on exit of turn 1. Up the hill they go. Allen's going to try to re-outbrake JJ Trim here. Not to mention Stewart reports absolutely going to be on the way. Ali to the inside, or to the outside of Adonis. He'll have that one. RLS Marcus now to the inside. Contact made between the two on the final lap. Here they go through 6 and 7. Still battling. It's a 1/10 of a second between the two. On the final lap of the Grand Prix, does Marcus try it? Into turns 9 and 10. He's made a couple of moves here already today. He's not going to send it this time. Maybe does he get it coming out of 10? No, I don't think he will. Lil Jim coming to the line. For now, who we think is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Penalties left and right, front and center for everybody. We think JJ Trim can get his 3-second penalty removed. Unbelievable race here. Are you not entertained? Final couple of cars battling it out on the final lap. Spider and Dunda battling it out, although I don't think Dunda's going to be able to get back to the position here. Savvy in the position, though. He may look to get Dunda going through the final couple of corners. No, not quite. Although, well, hang on just a minute. No, it's not going to happen. Not this time. Dunda's actually going to pick up another 3-second penalty. And across the line they go. And Lil Jim, your winner today, perhaps. Do we know for sure? Absolutely not. Well, you can look at these final results all you want. I don't think they're going to hold up all that much. Lil Jim does take the win for now. Marcus second, J-Trim third. Well, what an unbelievable Grand Prix that was, and we're going to have another good one next time out at the Suzuka International Racing Course in Japan for round number 3. Hotspot, it's been a pleasure joining you once again here, and we'll see you next time.